Hey everyone, welcome to the Raw Reset. If you're new here, I'm Amber and I'm on a journey to lose 100 pounds naturally utilizing the raw food lifestyle. Today's recipe is going to be something new and exciting. We're going to be making some raw vegan pancakes. So I had a couple bananas and a couple plantains I needed to use. So I found some inspiration from the Raw Advantage on YouTube, but I'm going to put my own spin on it today so that it's absolutely delicious and gives you that comfort, that satisfying feel, the yumminess of actual pancakes. I'm going to go over all the ingredients with you. It's really simple and we'll get into it. So what do you need? You need a blender. We need a couple plantains. Now these are soft plantains. Plantains tend to be very hard when they're not ripe. These are very soft. They're not fully black yet, but they're on their way. They're fully ripe and ready to use. We have a couple bananas. We need some almond flour. We need some sea salt. We need a couple Medjool dates. We need some lemon juice. Some apple pie spice. Now, if you don't have some apple pie spice, you can use either the ingredients in the apple pie spice, which are cinnamon, nutmeg, and allspice, or you can just use cinnamon, whatever you prefer. We need some vanilla extract. Now, this is vanilla extract without any alcohol in it. We need some lemon juice, and we need some flax, some golden flax for color. If you use the dark flax, then your pancakes will be darker. So without further ado, we'll get into the recipe. Okay, guys, this recipe is very easy. We're going to put the stuff in a blender. Pretty simple. But we are going to start with a few ingredients, not all of them. So we're going to start with our bananas and plantains. I'm just going to put those in a blender. And the riper the banana, the better. Not mushy, but the riper the banana, the better, because it makes it sweeter. And the plantain, you should be able to just cut it down the middle. And then it should be like that texture where it's nice and soft. And you'll know when a plantain is not ripe because it's really, really hard to peel it. The peel like will stick to the plantain inside. All right, and then we'll need 2 dates. Now, if your dates aren't super, super soft, I would suggest soaking them in some warm water before adding them in just to soften them up a little bit. These are really, really soft and gooey, super, super gooey and soft. So these ones will work perfect. We need 2 of these. Nice and soft. I love dates so much. Nature's candy. All right, and then we need 1 teaspoon of vanilla. And then we need 1 teaspoon of your cinnamon or your apple pie spice. And I'm just going to eyeball that, about 1 teaspoon of that. All right, and then we need just 1 tablespoon of lemon juice. So I'm just going to cut this and squeeze it into a tablespoon here. All right, 1 tablespoon of lemon juice. And then we're going to do a pinch of sea salt. I like to use this Baja Gold sea salt. You can use whatever sea salt you like, pink Himalayan or whatever you want to use. Just a pinch. Okay, and then we're going to blend this together, and then our dry ingredients will go in next. If you don't have a Vitamix, you might have to scrape down the sides a little bit and just make sure everything is incorporated. This did a really good job of just blending it nice. There's not a lot on the sides, but I'm going to just get everything in there and give it one more go. Thickness of a nice batter. So we're going to take that and pour it into a bowl. And I'm going to scrape all of this out here. Okay, now for our dry ingredients. We're going to mix in 3/4 cup of golden flaxseed. That was 3/4 cup. And then we're going to do a 1/2 cup of almond flour. And then you can add a little bit more cinnamon or a little bit more apple spice if you want to at this point. Just mix it in. I just put a couple more dashes in there. And then we're going to fold it all in. Now, you guys, I've never been a baker. I could barely make cookies. It's actually pretty astonishing that I can make dehydrated raw food, but that's the thing, it's not hard. Once you get a couple recipes under your belt, it's not hard at all. It's super easy. You become more familiar with your dehydrator, and it doesn't become such a hassle because you start feeling so good. And the best feeling is feeling good and healthy and vibrant, and you feel like you're thriving. And that's what raw foods do. They make you feel so good. All right, that looks great. So it's nice and thick. The batter is like pancake batter. Really, you can see that it's just like pancake batter. Now this is going to thicken up a little bit. So we're going to let this sit for about 10 minutes. And then we will put it together and put it in our dehydrator. How easy was that? I'll see you in 10 minutes. All right, guys, it's been about 10 minutes. So we're going to go ahead and lay out our pancakes. They should make about 6 pancakes. And as you can see, the batter is much thicker than it was. The flax has had a chance to make this combine a little bit more. So we're going to take about that much at a time. You just have to watch the thickness on these. You don't want them too thick and you don't want them too thin, because if they're too thin, they'll shrink up too much. And if they're too thick, they're going to be too dense. I'll show you what that is here in a minute. And it's okay if your circles aren't perfect. Not perfect, but so that's what you're going for as far as thickness goes. And you can also, if you wanted to, like I have a little coconut bowl, you can also do one of those and like make a mold of it if you wanted to make them like really, really perfect. So I'll use that and kind of make a mold. And then all you do is just get rid of the batter around it. And there you go. It's much more round. that way. Looks like this is going to make 8 pancakes total, which is awesome. One of the plantains was pretty large, so that makes sense. So again, if you want to make half as many, just cut the recipe in half. So I'm going to leave the mega pancake so I don't waste any of my ingredients. So yeah, that made 8 pancakes. So what we're going to do is throw this in the dehydrator. We're going to dehydrate it at 115 degrees for about 3 or 4 hours. You'll have to check it at 3 to see if they're ready to flip. Then we'll flip them and we'll dehydrate for another 3 to 4 hours. And then they should be done. And by that time, I will be ready for breakfast tomorrow morning. So we'll go ahead and put these in the dehydrator. All right, in the dehydrator they go. And we're going to put this at 115 degrees. We're going to do 3 hours and get it going. We'll go ahead and put the rest in there. All right, we'll see you tomorrow. And I love this little dehydrator. I'll put a link to it down below. All right, guys, so our pancakes are all done. It's the next day, and I wanted to show you how they turned out. So this is the texture you're going for. Now these are a little thinner probably than I should have made them. So learn from my mistakes if you want to make them a little thicker. So I did make a couple a little too thin, I think. And then we're going to make a blueberry compote to go over the top. Now I did dehydrate these at 3 hours. They weren't stiff enough to flip yet. So I did dehydrate them for another hour, which was 4 hours, and then they were ready to flip. And then I dehydrated them for another 4 hours. It will obviously depend on your dehydrator. Now I did use a very thin spatula. That's what I use to get up underneath and flip them over. Really thin, heavy duty spatulas work perfect for the flipping of the pancakes. Okay, so let's get into our blueberry compote for the top. All right, guys, we'll go into making our blueberry compote. So I have a couple of things of blueberries. We need 1 cup of blueberries. These are organic blueberries that I have here. We're going to use 1 cup of those. I am going to use a tablespoon or a couple tablespoons of maple syrup. If you don't want to use maple syrup, you can use another sweetener of your choice, or you can use maybe another date. We are going to put some dates in there, some orange zest we need, some lemon juice. I have some apple pie spice and some vanilla. So we'll get into the recipe here. So we need 1 cup of blueberries. We're going to put half a cup in the blender, and then the other half cup we're going to mix in to the compote. So first things first, a half a cup in the blender. And then we're going to do 2 dates and make sure they are soft dates. We're going to do 2 tablespoons of maple syrup. Again, if you don't do maple syrup, you can do another sweetener of your choice or another date. We need 1 tablespoon of lemon juice. We need 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. Need about a 1/4 teaspoon of apple pie spice. I'm just going to eyeball it and put a couple dashes in there. I forgot we need a pinch of sea salt. And we need some orange zest. Now I just have this zester here. I'm just going to zest the peel. All right, and then we can add a little bit of water if we need to. I'm not going to put that in yet until I see the consistency of this. It smells so good. Looks perfect. I'm going to give it a little taste. Oh my gosh, you guys, that's so good. All right, now what we're going to do, I'm going to pour the liquid into this little bowl here. All right, once everything's out of it, we're going to add in a 1/2 cup of blueberries, whole. So I will use up the rest of these. All right, and then we're just going to put our blueberries right in with the compote, and we're going to mix it around until the blueberries are well incorporated. And then we're just going to pile them on. And I actually might want to put some of this in between the layers. And I'm actually going to go one step further and put a little rind right on the top. And there you have it, a bomb delicious raw vegan breakfast. I got to taste these. All right, you guys, I'm ready to try this stack of goodness here. Mmm. Mmm. You get the hit of warm spices from the apple pie seasoning. You get the orange zest flavor in the compote, and those blueberries. This compote is out dynamite. A must try, you guys. A must try. It's so good. That compote is so good. It's so good. Even if they're a little thin, it's still absolutely delicious. Absolutely delicious. And it gives you that sense of pancake feel. And that's the main thing on this lifestyle. We have to feel satisfied, or it's not going to work because it won't feel sustainable to us. So we have to make things every once in a while. I'm not saying to eat this every single day, even though you would want to, but every once in a while we have to find a way to be creative with the raw foods and make the things that we are craving, make the things that are enjoyable to us, the things that we miss from our regular old lifestyle. I can eat all of these pancakes though, I guarantee you, and I will not feel heavy. I will not feel sluggish. I will not feel like I need a nap. This is healthy ingredients, wholesome, God-given ingredients that will nourish your body and also satisfy your palate. And if you're new to this raw lifestyle or curious about how to get started, please download my free Raw Reset Beginner Guide in the comments below. It'll also be in the description. And if you need accountability, if you need support, if you need new friends doing this lifestyle, if you want to meet people in your area that are doing this, join me in Club Raw. I would love to have you there. I do a live call there every Monday, and I would love to see you there. Thank you so much for your support, for being here, and thank you for watching. Let me know in the comments if you decide to make this and what you think. God bless you guys.